I dey tell you say very dark man. He get rate. The rate wey be say he regarded very dark man. They call for the truth to start for very dark man because you know say Nigeria no want truth. We want truth, we go regard it. I bet make una listen to this epa. Wetin regarded about a lawyer. Make una hear. Regardez là-bas, regardez.
Was a guy trying to tell me that VDM will lose the case. Should the case go to court? Now, there's what we call cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
This is a situation where when our mind continuously becomes accustomed to a particular event, our brain begins to normalize it. And therefore, we see it as normal. Now, because our judiciary is corrupt, we tend to be disillusioned about having favorable outcomes, irrespective of whether we follow due processes or not. That is wrong. However, I was able to call my lawyer friend and said, what constitutes a defamation of character? What is it that constitutes a defamation of character? Now, for starters, for there to be a defamation of character, the purported statement must be untrue. That means the purported statement, that is the first criteria for there to be a defamation of character. The statement purported must be untrue. The purported statement must be untrue. I beg. Sorry. Don't call him now. I will open the line for calls in the power. Don't call now. After the opening statement, we are going to call. But for now, don't call. The number to call him. Okay, the numbers to call him. Let me try the number to call him. Will be. But don't call now until I finish the narrative. +234 901 5654732. Yeah. So it was almost as if there are some people who are against very dark man who called me. Now, like as I was saying, sorry for the slight distraction. For there to be a defamation of character, the purported statement must be untrue. That's the first criterion. The second criterion will be that the said statement that is untrue must have a negative effect on the person claiming defamation. Now, when I called my lawyer friend, he said that actually, truthfully, the onus of proof, because I asked him, I said, in the case of VDM and Falana,
okay.
Somebody made a recording and somebody presented that recording in which the voice of the person who made the allegation is recorded. Who is defaming who? He actually said it is the person that made the record available legally. Okay. But should the person be able to prove that the statement contained in that recording is true, that means for purpose of justification, it is no longer defamation. So the long and short of my conversation with my lawyer friend is that there will be no case of defamation of character if the actions contained in that recording is true. If it's established that, I'm not saying that the allegations contained in that statement is true. If it is established that the recording is real, and that voice belongs to Bobrisky,
yes.
The voice belongs to Bobrisky.
It belongs
to
the
onus of proof now shifts from very dark man to Bobrisky. If you are a legal practitioner, you are following me, please, you can discredit my argument.
But no, Wallah, it's a lie. Bobby Whiskey.
Please don't call it now. I'm using the phone as a Wi-Fi. If you are calling in, call only on WhatsApp. Don't call directly. If you call directly, you will disrupt the transmission.
If na lie, they talk.
Yesterday,
go listen to
on
Wumi,
Channels Television,
to Bobby Whiskey.
Falana was reverberating, fuming that because he is chairing or is heading a group of legal luminaries that have international status, he wouldn't want to condescend by going into legal litigation. All they want is an apology that meets his standard. An apology from VDM that meets his standard. And let me tell you what let me tell you what an apology does. Let me tell you what an apology does. Once you apologize for something, it's technically an admission of guilt. Now, is an apology good? Fine. But since in this instance, it's going to take a legal tone, we are discussing, obviously, with the way the whole thing have turned out, it's going to have, we are swimming in a legal pool. There's a legal smoke everywhere. So it would be dangerous for anybody to be tendering apologies. Now, it's just like Fals coming to say he's sorry for all the confusion that the case has brought to him and his family. You see. Now, let me also go back to something I said yesterday in the video. I told Very Dark Man that the kind of worms that he has popped open is a complex dynamic of a type of immorality that has defined our cultural society today. And perhaps it goes beyond the mere perspective of just pointing out names that are involved in this morality. It goes beyond that. So, what we see are different facets in the country that are indicators of how rotten the country has become for many years. That is our judiciary, our police, our army, our executive, our judiciary, our everywhere, including you and me. We are all contributory to the wrath in this so-called fabric that defines us as Nigerians. So this case is not about entertaining ourselves because there is gossip to be heard. It's a moment that defines us if we can truly call ourselves Nigerians, if we can truly call ourselves a nation, if we can truly define ourselves as contemporary people as seen elsewhere in more responsible climes in developed worlds. So some of us have not spent time to develop the rationality that our mind should ordinarily collect. We have lacked the inability to rationalize. The place of rationalization has been occupied by our biases that have been cooked up by our religious proclivities and tribal proclivities. Hence, we lack the ability to accommodate fairness, equities, and justice. Do I believe Nigeria can work? No. Do I believe it can work with the right leadership? Yes. Our problem is simply a problem of leadership. And when the head is corrupt, everything that comes underneath will definitely be corrupt. Yeah, man. Some of us don't understand grammar. Sure, you get me? Anyway, jokes apart. Mr. Falana is on a threshold of ridiculing himself. VDM has nothing to lose. If they lock VDM, it will be big news. After all, he go wear a short knicker with that trouser. You have something with the tie rope, Shokoto hair, Shokoto. Go wear Shokoto, come take a picture. It will be more content for his page. But they put Falana for prison. It will be big news. It will be big news, Abi. So
the biggest one.
I spoke and I said yesterday that it would have been best for Falana to remain silent.
Yes.
He would have died off naturally.
Yes.
Making that interview on channels. Imagine if Show invited him to channels television.
Now, say.
Imagine
country
if VDM goes to that same channels television as a reporter right now. VDM, I know he's holding back because of whatever little respect he has left. I saw the video he made regarding the Falana's response on channels TV. So, when he throws away that respect, I trust you, believe me, God, Falana has a lot to lose.
Where?
The Falanas are walking on thin ice. They are walking on thin ice. And I implore them to be careful, to be circumspect. Otherwise, the wrath, the worms in this can, they've laid egg. In fact, the yet of it all is not, we've not seen the rest of it all.
Yes,
now,
it's true.
The other part that I want to say, it's okay to love your son. I love my son. I have two sons. God knows I love them. You touch any of them, I will show you what the love of a father is. I want them to grow up and become gentlemen. I want them to grow up and be neat. They speak in environments. They speak so maturely. They have wives. They get erection in front of women. You know, those things that you see and you say, yes, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. I cannot be pleased in a son that involves himself in immorality.
Reconcile
I
me.
cannot be proud in a son that is illiterate.
How
I cannot
manage
be
you
proud in a son
if the,
that
means it's
that
true.
has that
You
involves
are
himself
just
in questionable
staying to
character.
defend your son.
Judging from
But
that
as you
interview
know,
alone,
because
yeah,
you are a lawyer,
if I'm
you
VDM, all I
want
need
to
to
bend
do is just
inside your
replay everything
shokoto.
on that
No, you will wear inside your
the channel's
shokoto.
interview. Number one,
Wear it with your Benny cap.
Falana, in your own submission, admitted.
Finally, go carry your old age.
Congratulations to the very
You know,
dark.
so I greet you, my people. You understand? So one on one. So God will bless everybody. You understand? So see, this life, I dey already tell people, say, man, use your wisdom. You know me say somebody slap you, you not slap her back. Me say na that person, na great pass you. That was your mate. Now that one you take great past that person. He said this man quiet. All those things go happen. I better share this video.